Good morning and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. More than anything else right now, we need comfort and hope. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues on and on, as our isolation from each other and worship continues, as we sense more and more that we might never get back to what we once understood as normal times. We need comfort, assurance, and hope. We need something stable to cling to, a rock to hold us fast in a storm-tossed sea. We need God. And as I thought about that, I kept being drawn to Isaiah 40. Isaiah is a long book of the Old Testament, but an important one. And over the years, scholars have seen that the book of Isaiah changes right in the middle. Chapters 1 through 39 have been called the book of judgment. And in it, Isaiah speaks strongly to the people that their faithlessness to God will result in the defeat of the nation at the hand of the Assyrians. Chapters 40 through 66 have been called the book of comfort or the book of consolation. And in them, Isaiah speaks to the people after the Assyrians have indeed conquered them and offers them comfort and hope. And his words are words we need now. While we haven't been defeated by an army, we are under onslaught. Comfort, assurance, and hope are just what we need in this time. Nowhere is that better expressed than in chapter 40 itself. This week we're going to move through that chapter and find the comfort and assurance God gives. Today we're going to look at the first two verses, Isaiah 40, verses 1 and 2. We read, "Comfort. Oh, comfort my people, says your God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and cry to her that she has served her term, that her penalty is paid, that she has received from the Lord's hand double for all her sins." After 39 chapters of proclaiming judgment against the people, Isaiah's first words now are the words, "Comfort, comfort." And with those words, I can't help but to hear God's heart breaking over what has happened to God's people. Yes, they were faithless. And yes, sin has its consequences. But God's heart is tender toward them, and especially now in their defeat. God reaches out in love and compassion. I love the story of the woman who had 8 children. On Mother's Day one year, the local newspaper was doing an article about mothers and chose to interview her. During the interview, the reporter asked, "Do you love one of your children more than the others?" The mother said, "No, she loved all her children the same." The reporter pushed the point, knowing that it would only be natural, deep down, to like one or another of her children better. And finally, the mother agreed that she did love one of her children better than the others. The reporter eagerly asked, "Which one?" And the mother answered, "When one has fallen down and hurt her knee, I love that one the most. When one is having trouble at school with a bully, I love that one most. When one is sick or sad or heartbroken, then I love that one the most." Any parent knows what that's like. Your child may have to be punished, Sin has its consequences after all. But all the while the parent's heart breaks and is filled with love and compassion too. And just so, God reaches to us in love and compassion, and in God we have assurance and hope. I'm not saying that God has caused all that is going on, but I am saying that in the midst of all that is going on in our world today, God is there with tender love and compassion. In God, we can be assured. In God, we can hope. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.